The immortal Somali. She's like, I was talking with Minneapolis police officers, and none of them ever remember responding to a cardiac arrest, aneurysm, stroke of a older Somali person. What are they doing with the bodies?
What the hell is that? Is that a body?
So he comes out and he sets something on the ground.
Yeah.
That's his arm.
What?
Yeah, his arm.
What do you mean that's his arm? The Immortals.
The immortal Somali. Yeah, this is something I kind of thought about, but never really dwelled on it because I didn't know how you would design a journalistic investigation to like figure out if there's a story there. But I was talking with Liz Collins from Alpha News, who is, she's like fantastic. I mean, this is the moment for Alpha News. They're based in Minneapolis. They do state level news, and they're actually willing to report the truth and challenge the regime out there. And she just says something to me. She's like, have you ever looked at cardiac arrests involving Somalis? It's like, I kind of grokked what she was getting to. And I was like, you mean like, are Somalis dying of natural causes and being reported? And she was like, yeah. She's like, I was talking with Minneapolis police officers, and none of them ever remember responding to a cardiac arrest, aneurysm, stroke of a older Somali person. You know, just looking at the actuarial tables, you would think 100,000 people out there, the odds say that some of them are going to have heart attacks, they're going to die, and then the police or the emergency services are going to be called to respond. None of the police officers ever remember going to a Somali DOA. And so I go to some of my sources in the Lewiston Police Department and ask, do you remember ever responding to Somali DOA's cardiac events? Like, they start laughing. Like, you know, we were just talking about this at the station, and no one really remembers responding to Somali DOAs. So what's happening? You know, based on that sample, you know, it's not totally scientific, but we know there's some natural deaths happening from medical events within the Somali community that are not being reported to the state, to the medical authorities, to EMS. Now, why is that? So what happens if grandma's got subsidized senior housing, an EBT card, and Medicaid benefits, and you report that she's passed away? Okay, so those benefits get shut off. Everybody can understand, yeah, you just keep the benefits going. This is how you end up with Social Security, or more so the EBT cards, benefits going to dead people. But what are they doing with the bodies?
That's what I was going to ask.
What are they doing with the bodies?
Well,
I don't know.
Interesting when they find that.
I don't know, man. That's...
Man, we're turning into a third world country. It's so weird.
I want to show you a video. I was asked not to let you publish this, but the source said that I could at least show it to you. This is security camera footage from outside a Somali market.
What the hell is that? Is that a body? Oh, never mind.
The guy, he's setting down. You see that thing he sets on the ground when he comes out?
Hold on. I had to restart it.
So he comes out and he sets something on the ground.
Yeah.
That's his arm.
What?
Yeah, his arm.
What do you mean that's his arm?
I mean, like, it's his arm, and it became no longer connected to his body, and he's walking out of the back room of the market to go get medical help.
Holy shit.
And this was reported in the news that this had happened. They never really figured out what exactly happened. He claimed that he was chopping up meat at this market and fell into the saw and chopped his own arm off. This is just one of the many mysteries that comes with being a police officer in Lewiston, Maine. Guy's still in Lewiston, by the way. He's the one with one arm. That market, by the way, is affiliated with a group that got Lewiston shooting money.
Jeez.
The AK market had AK Health Services. My mind goes to when all these bodies need to be accounted for. My mind goes to the facilities that they have for processing meat. Right? If they've
Oh, boy.
if they've got the bandsaws that can hack somebody's arm off just in an accident like that, I don't know how do you? I mean, as a younger man, I jacked deer before, and so have dealt with the problem of trying to make a large carcass disappear. It's hard. It's not as simple as you might think. But yeah, that's
Wow.
that's something where a Republican governor could come in and look at the age of people getting Medicaid benefits or EBT card benefits in Lewiston and just be like, holy shit, we've got a bunch of people who are 110 years old getting EBT card benefits. What's going on here? Can we just call them and see if they're real people? That's all a lot of this would require to stop, is just calling, just like basic checkups, going to the offices. I mean, I've got my notes from, we visited some of these home healthcare businesses that have sprung up over the last 5 years. One building on Bishop Street in Portland has all of these businesses registered there. They're not all home healthcare businesses. There's some transportation businesses, but you've got, AB Home Healthcare.
How many are there approximately?
There's 39 companies. We don't know how many of them are real, how many of them have actually,
39 companies in one building.
yeah. And we actually have video of it that we'll release in conjunction with this episode. We went in, we knocked on all the doors, and nobody's home. They're one-room office suites. They all have matching signs on the door. They're checking the box of having an office so that they can unlock the Medicaid money.
Yeah.
But no one's there. And if somebody from the government just knocked on the door, they'd figure out pretty quickly, or just like did what we did, just walk around the building. We visited twice in December and then in January to see what was going on. And it's clear what's happening. They just someone figured out, here's this empty office building, go get a suite, you check the box, you unlock the Medicaid money, you look like a legitimate business. But you've got AB Home Healthcare, Bright Star Home Care, Bright Star LLC, Bright Star Residential, Bright Stars USA, Bishop Star Residential Coastal Care LLC, Fable Home Care, Greater Portland Home Care. That one has billed $2 million. Maine Home Care, Noble Transportation, which is a Medicaid transportation company. Prestige Home Care. That one's billed $2.5 million. Knocked on the door. Nobody's there. Southern Maine Home Care. That one is $4.3 million. Supreme Choice Home Care, $1.1 million. Tuzolana Personal Care. 5 Stars is an interesting one. 5 Stars is one we found audit documents for. The guy who runs 5 Stars Personal Care is, his name is Mustafa, and you can see in the emails that they audit his spending, and he gets $1 million from 2022 to 2024. And at the beginning of 2024, they flag him, they audit his transactions. He's a 70% error rate. So 70% of the time, he sends paperwork to Medicaid to get money. Something doesn't stack up. There's not documents to substantiate it. He doesn't pass the straight face test. So they send him a letter, notice of violation. We're going to be auditing you. We need some additional documents. If he had those documents, all he would have to do is send them to the Department of Health and Human Services, and they'd say, okay, you check out. You can continue billing Medicaid. You can see in the emails that he strings along the process where he doesn't respond to the letters at first, and then he says that his responses were getting lost in the mail, and then his family is sick, and then his family is sick again. They all have COVID really, really bad, and this has all delayed him, so he gets extension after extension after extension throughout the audit process, and he's allowed to continue billing hundreds of thousands of dollars while he's under audit, while he's making up these excuses, while he's living in public housing, by the way, and running this business out of public housing as a 25-year-old in Maine. And finally, in February of 2025, they shut off billing to him after this whole process. So he's made $1 million doing this home healthcare business. They shut off the money. He never complains as far as we can see. No one dies. No one loses their health care. He just gets to walk away from the business. The business entity folds and he goes on his life, goes and starts a new enterprise. We've even seen instances of the same person corresponding with the state about one of these audits for a firm that gets shut down because they can't substantiate their care, going out and starting a second Medicaid business, running it parallel while they're doing the delay game on the audit process, and they're starting another business that runs. So you can do this scheme, get your Medicaid billing shut off, and you're not going to be barred from starting a new Medicaid business. And don't even think about criminal charges or a criminal investigation for any of this. And don't even think about making it public. This all just gets swept under the rug unless someone does a public records request, finds it, pours over these documents that they make it as hard as possible for you to read and interpret and understand. And there's no way you find out about what's happening here without some kind of outside, agent bringing transparency. And it's been a huge process for us to disentangle what's happening. Like, why are these companies, why do we have fraud investigators at the Department of Health and Human Services who are investigating all of this, finding it, teeing it up, and then nothing happens?
No matter where you're watching the Sean Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this at all, anything, please like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, head to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and leave us a review.